Alright folks, this is Razer's Chroma light strip set. This is a really cool thing if you want to have some accent lighting around your office or your gaming space, maybe a cool bedroom type setup, and you want to link it with other Razer Chroma compatible devices like a Razer Blade laptop or a Razer mouse, maybe a, I don't know, Razer keyboard. Anything Razer pretty much supports Chroma, particularly in the more higher end specifications, not their entry level devices in many cases. But anyhow, I know nothing about light strip sets. I've never programmed one of these before. I don't really know what to expect. The only thing I've done so far with this box is I ripped the plastic tape off. So we're going to open it up together. Thank goodness there are instructions for people like me. So we'll get back to that later. Alright. No, this is not for your CPAP. Let's figure out what this is exactly. I'm guessing these are the lights. Oh yeah, baby. Hey, these are really neat. Okay, so this is a very comfortable plastic. I don't know why that matters to me, but it's very bendable, flexible, so you can attach it to different things. And you can see this is how it's going to get connected. There'll be a control unit in here somewhere, and then you'll be plugging these things in. It looks like you can daisy chain them, which is important if you want to have, I would imagine, different, just like certain runs of strips with the same lighting. Then if you daisy chain them, then they'll probably carry over. I don't know if each one's going to have its own control unit. I mean, we're going to find out. So there's three of these things. So that's cool. Now this must be where our control unit is hiding. More things. We have a wireless transmitter over USB-A. Oh yeah, here's our master control unit. Right here. That's the guy, right there. So you can adjust the lighting levels, minus, plus. This circle must mean off. And we have different places where we can plug in the strips. And so one of the, again, I don't know anything about this stuff, but I would imagine Razer gave you 3 different angles, and they're different port names, so that you can sort of like put this in one place, and then you're going to have your lights coming out instead of them getting, it's going to reduce the likelihood they get tangled up together. So there you go. And the numbering system is going to be helpful when you're doing the programming so that you know which node is going to lead to what lighting, color, or style, because you can also do a bunch of different styles of lighting, like breathing or static, pulsing, that kind of stuff. All right, this is going to be your power. Bam. Old school plug style. And then we're going to have adapters. This is an international unit. I don't know if they have US only, but I have no use for this. And thank goodness they included one that I can use. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go ahead and get it all set up, and then we'll talk in a sec. Cheers. Alright, so now we have the finished product. I spent some time trying to figure out precisely how I wanted to mount this. I had it around my TV, I had it around my bookshelf, which would have been in the background whenever I'm on camera, say for a Zoom or something like that. And what I decided to do is just put it right here in the corner of my wall. And I think this looks really excellent. There are a number of different configurations you can use for the lighting like we talked about before, and I'll show a demo of that in a moment. But first I wanted to call out some of the problems that I found. One is that while the lights are bright and elegant, the distance between the lights is a little bit unattractive. All right, what you'll see here is just this black wiring, and that's between all 3 sections. Now included in the box, as I went through a moment ago, is 1 long strip and then 2 short strips, right? I have the short strip surrounding the long strip. And I didn't feel like I had enough. I wish I just had 1 strip that was maybe like 5-6 feet long, and then a couple more that were a foot long or 18 inches or so, and then I can sort of maneuver with. But there's going to be so many different use cases for these things that I bet it's hard for any manufacturer to come up with the right or most proper way to do it to please me. So anyhow, these black wires are a little bit ugly. One thing else I noticed is that the actual wire for the master control unit, the power, is not long enough. I would imagine for most people this is going to be the biggest constraint, is to find an outlet and then run the power to the master control unit, and then run the master control unit to each of the different lighting strips or to the one primary that they want to use. Now I am using 1 port instead of all 3. So that means I can only control 1 type of lighting instead of from each port. But I'll show you that in a moment too, how that all works. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. I wish it were longer, but I guess it is what it is. So yeah, everything is bright. The different controls are awesome. It's just those couple of things that are not as great. Okay, so we have a number of different lighting methods. And again, if you plug in each of these 3 strips individually into the master control unit, then you're going to have the ability to apply some of these, all of these different effects I'm about to show you to each individual strip. But as of now, they're all connected, so I only have the option to choose one type of effect and it will apply to all 3. So what you're seeing now is called static, right? It's one color showing all the time. I have it set to max brightness. I'm going to turn off the lights in here. It's still daytime, so there'll be some natural lighting in the room, but you'll get a sense of kind of how it looks with lights on and then with lights off, and we'll continue. Okay, I like the way this looks. This reminds me of Darth Vader's lightsaber. All right, super nerdy, but that's the truth. This is a wave pattern set to the fastest possible speed. So it's a rainbow of colors, starts at the bottom, works its way all the way to the top. I'm going to slow it down so you can see it in a little bit different lighting. I meant different speed. Okay, so this looks cool too. My daughter's favorite effect is this on full speed. I'm going to change some different default color options as well, just a moment. It's kind of like a fiery thing, which is cool. Also looks like a gummy worm. You can change the direction in which it flows, which would be great if you had just tons of these everywhere and you wanted to kind of put them against each other or draw someone's attention towards a certain direction in your room. That'd be pretty sweet. Now we're looking at the breathing effect. So it takes a color from 0 up to whatever brightness you're set at. I'm set to 100 or max brightness. And then it can switch to a second color. Otherwise it just goes to the next color. It's on slow right now. Okay, I'm going to set it between green and red, so now you get your green. Now I've sped it up to fast, it's going to go all the way off, and then it'll turn all the way back on, but this time it will be red. This is spectrum cycling, and with the spectrum cycling, I'm currently connected using Bluetooth to this. I'm not using the wireless transmitter, the USB-A transmitter. So I don't have as much influence over this particular effect as I would otherwise. So just keep that in mind. But I'm choosing to go Bluetooth because I'm literally out of USB-A ports on my desktop, and I'd have to plug in the USB-C adapter and all kinds of stuff to make this happen. But anyway, hey, gotta use that Bluetooth for something. And finally, we have Starlight. This is pretty neat. And right now I have it set to some Christmas type colors. Maybe I should have used Halloween colors or fall colors because of the time of year. But anyhow, this is another really cool one. You cannot choose, I don't believe precisely which LEDs light up on the strips, but I would know better if I were able to plug in my dongle. There are some additional things you can do there. Now I'm going to speed it up just a moment. There you go. Pretty neat. As far as where I'm going to land with this, I can see myself mixing it up from time to time. Right now I'm going kind of a Luke Skywalker blue. I think the red was really nice. The cool thing is you can just change it using the Razer Synapse 3 application. And as soon as you plug in the dongle or you connect over Bluetooth, as long as that master control unit is on, you're going to see it automatically pop up, and then it'll install some drivers and you can start to manipulate this light strip. So I wouldn't run out and buy this necessarily just because I'm not good at design and art and creative thinking when it comes to visual things. So I probably would have thought there's no way I'd ever use something like this. But fortunately, the good people at Razer sent it over for me to get a hands-on with it, and I'm truly now thinking, should I buy another set so I can have some more lights and really get the room going? Because obviously off camera here, but I've got my office, my desk to the right with my PC. Immediately to the left, you can kind of see it over here, is my TV where I have my PS4 hooked up and my Switch. And then behind me I have my bookshelf, and that's what people see when I'm on a Zoom. So that'd be kind of cool to be able to influence the entire room. It would require quite a few more strips. So I may look into that and then do another video, but for now, that is what you get. And that's what it's like using the Chroma light strip set from Razer. So thanks again to Razer, and thank all of you for watching. Cheers.